Springfield, 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 New York, New York. Wait, we're in New York. We are actually in New York for this one. Hello, and welcome to another UFC review. This is for UFC 217, Bisping versus St Pierre at the Madison Square Garden in New York City, New York. And, like always, we're just going to get right into the card. So, yeah, obviously a super duper stacked, 3 12 fights headline. It feels like a sequel to UFC 205. But what kind of sequel? Well, I'm about to tell you. So, on to the prelims. We kick things off with our first fight being Mickey Gall against Randy Brown. And it went the distance and Randy Brown won. And all in all, this fight does get enough from me. It was an enjoyable fight, and Randy Brown surprisingly got a really good takedown over Mickey Gall. And his stand-up is a lot better than Mickey's is. Randy Brown definitely had round 1. Mickey Gall had round 2. And round 3 definitely went back to Brown. So it wasn't the most exciting fight, but it did get things like raring to go for the rest of the card. It was a good way to start things off, and it does get an up. What gets it down, though, is the refereeing for this fight. A dude named, I think, Todd Anderson or Tom Anderson. He was the referee for this fight, and there were multiple times where Mickey Gall not only grabbed the fence, but he hooked his fingers in Randy's gloves. And those were illegal. He got like 7 warnings throughout the whole fight and did not get deducted a point. So that kind of annoyed me. That was a really, really bad refereeing call, but it's a minor thing. But yeah, this fight was good. It started things off really well. So yeah, not much else needs to be said. We're going to go to the next one. Next up was the fight between Corey Anderson and Ovin St. Preux, and St. Preux won in round 3 at 1 minute 25 seconds by knockout with a head kick. This fight was mostly in Corey's favour. Like, for the first 2 rounds, he dominated really well. He got great takedowns. There was a moment where he got his mouthpiece knocked out in round 1, I think. And see, here's the thing: OSP was being aggressive towards Anderson. That's him, the other guy fighting. And he knocked out his mouthpiece. And as Anderson was backing away, OSP kept chasing him and was hoping to get the finish. Now, obviously, when that's happening, that's not a lull in the action. But Corey called for his mouthpiece anyway, and the referee, who was Dan Rugalotto, who was one of the best referees, gave it to him when he really shouldn't have. He should have let this fight go on, because I definitely think that Corey would have been finished sooner. But he did put on a great performance nonetheless, so this fight does get an up, but the referee decision and the whole mouthpiece thing does get it down. So once again, it's 2-2. Once again, it's 2-2. It's 2-2. So yeah, this was a really, really good. It was a good fight, and OSP got performance of the night. By the way, there were a lot of performance of the night bonuses, and the only one not on any fights I saw was Ricardo Ramos, who got a knockout win over Ayman Zahabi by knockout with spinning back elbow in round 3 on the Fight Pass. 1 minute 58 seconds. And I thought I might as well tell you, even though I don't get to see the Fight Pass. So yeah, solid fight for this one. Fight itself does get enough because it was entertaining and exciting, even though no fights on this card won fight of the night, sadly. But, OSP got a good win. Corey Anderson looked really good, even though he lost. So, yeah, on to the next one. And we continue the trend of a fight getting it up and a down, but in contrast to the first 2 fights, this fight gets a down because it was kind of bad, and for the finish, but it gets an up because the referee for this fight actually did a damn good job. The referee was a new person named James Grice, I want to say. I know his surname was Grice, and I remember that much, and that's a difficult name to remember because one of my best friends did have that surname. Obviously, he goes by Newman now. He knows who he is if he watches this, which he probably doesn't, but if he does, there's a free shout out, even though he didn't ask for it. So, yeah, it was a fairly back and forth fight for the most part. Mark Godbeer won by DQ. And what happened was, they were in the clinch, and Walt Harris, these were the 2 people fighting, Walt Harris and Mark Godbeer. Harris and Godbeer were in a clinch. Harris landed a knee to Godbeer's crotch. Very difficult to see where he was. And as Godbeer was backing away and, holding his crotch after it was injured, the referee yelled "stop" 3 times directly into Walt Harris's ear. and a fourth time by the time Harris went to land a strike, and then a fifth time and pushed Harris away because he was still trying to get his attention by the time he said stop the third time, and he properly pushed him away when Harris had landed a really nasty head kick on Godbeer, and it rendered him unable to continue, so Godbeer won by DQ. The thing is, Walt Harris said he didn't hear the referee. I found that bullshit, because when someone is yelling the word stop 3 times in a row into your ear at the loudest voice that they can imagine, excuse me, if someone does that, then you should bloody listen. You're a fighter in the UFC on one of the biggest cards of the year. When someone tells you to stop because you've done something bad, you fucking stop. Walt Harris did look apprehensive, he looked really guilty about it, and good on him for realizing that he fucked up, but this was a really, really dumb thing for him to have done in any capacity, and I hope Godbeer recovers, because I liked seeing him fight. I've seen his name a lot. I think this is the first fight I've seen him in, and I've seen Walt Harris fight a few times, and he's a lot better than this. I know he's a lot better than, accidental cock shot than head kick, The fight itself was bad, probably the worst fight on the card for me personally, but the referee made the right call, even though it's the first time I've seen him referee for the UFC, so, yeah. So that gets no, the referee gets no, the fight itself gets a down, so it's 3-3. Sorry about that, someone just knocked the door, so, yeah. Anyway, the next and last fight on the prelim card, James Vick versus Irish Joe Duffy. This fight does get up, it was really exciting, really entertaining, surprisingly back and forth. A close contender for fight of the night for me, even though none of the fights actually got that. Vick won at 4 minutes 59 seconds at round 2, so literally as the round was ending. But it was pretty back and forth to fight, despite Vick being 6'3" as a lightweight, and having the height and reach advantage as well. He didn't really land as much as I thought he was going to. He landed it enough to keep the round going, but I think that Duffy had a really good advantage with his leg kicks. James Vick landed a fair few as well, and they all looked really vicious. But it was a surprisingly even fight, and Vick did win with a really good surprise uppercut. It wasn't an easy win for him, and this was an exciting fight between two really underrated fighters, so... Well, I say really underrated. James Vick has only had 1 loss in the UFC and 1 loss in his overall career. And Joe Duffy has always been really, really good, so... But what is Joe Duffy's record? Okay, so his overall record in the UFC is 4-2. And he's got a good game. Alright. So yeah, he did a really good job. He did as good a job as he could. Despite his loss, he still soldiered on. He still showed class. It was a really, really good fight and a really good way to close out the prelim card, so it does get an up. So that is 4-3 now. I'm Simon Millering this until I die. Or until the end of the year. Or until I don't have to do this anymore. Which I'll probably be doing it forever. On to the main card. So, the next fight. Now, I might be said, I didn't hate this fight and it does get an up. But there is one thing that does get down, so it's 5-4. So, Paulo Costa against Johnny Hendricks. Paulo Costa won in round 2 by TKO at 1 minute and 23 seconds. After a fairly dominant first round, and when Hendricks started fighting back near the end of the first round. And the dude didn't just give up. And the fight itself was entertaining, so it does get an up. But this was another loss in what feels... Okay, I'm looking at the record now with Johnny Hendricks. It's only his 2nd loss in a streak so far, but it feels like it's 6. Because he did get a UFC decision win, not long ago, but... Oh, God. It feels so sad to see him lose this badly all the time now. Because I genuinely do like Johnny Hendricks. He's a likeable fighter. I enjoy watching him. And he fell on his sword. God bless him. He did not give up when he was rocked. He just went right for it. Might have been a bad decision, considering he lost the fight, but, he did his best. And not much else needs to be said than that. He just really needs to find that, find that motivation that in 2012, 2012 was arguably his best year through 2013 and bits of 2014 as well. But then when 2014 started ending, like things just went in a downward spiral for him, which is kind of sad. But he needs to find that 2012 version of himself again. He needs to go back to that and just be like, be a strong fighter, be the aggressor, and do more counters as well. He was doing very few of those. It was kind of a sad situation, and it's always sucks seeing him lose, but hopefully he gets another chance. And Paulo Costa looked really, really good. And he's a very handsome person, I will admit. Nothing wrong with saying that, I don't think. But yeah, he made a good performance. Did not get a performance on my bonus, but he did a good job. And Johnny Hendricks needs to pick himself up really bad. He needs to find that fire again. He really does. So, on to the next fight. And the next fight is my personal pick for fight night between Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Jorge Masvidal. It wasn't the most exciting pick for fight of the night, but I did enjoy it, and I felt like it was even enough. Thompson won by unanimous decision, but it was a good fight. Like, he showed how good he can be, and he got a good few knockdowns, but Masvidal was not without his moments. He generally lands good shots, especially in round one, where he landed a great right hand that did stun Thompson. But Thompson is just really, really good. He's quick, he fires like he's a sniper, like he's in and out really, really fast like a snake. It's always fun to just watch him fight. He has this weird stance and he's an undefeated kickboxer, obviously. Everyone knows this because he's one of the most popular welterweights right now. So, yeah, this was a really, really good fight, and Thompson definitely did do enough to win, in my opinion. It gets an up. So, yeah, I think that's 6'4" now. Just 1 inch above my actual height. So, yeah, I'm tall. I like being tall. Anyway, on to the next fight. But yeah, this one gets an up. It was enjoyable. It was exciting. Both men did all that they could, so no complaints. And so we have the first title fight of the triple main event, as I like to call them, between Joanna Jedrzejczyk and the challenger Rose Namajunas. And holy fucking balls of steely crap, was this awesome! So I don't really think anyone was expecting Rose to have won this, but she did. But I don't think anyone was expecting her to knock out Joanna in the first round. She just looks really good, took advantage of Joanna's overconfidence really well, landed a great right earlier in the fight that knocked her down, but it was a left hook later on that knocked her out and just finished her. And we have a new strawweight champion, and holy fuck, it was a hell of a performance. She got a performance of the night, Rose did. And, yeah, I forgot to mention, the performance of the nights for Alvin St Pierre and Ricardo Ramos were 25,000. The other performance of the night were 50,000. So Rose got 50,000 in her pocket. As did, well, we're going to discuss that. So, yeah. But yeah, really good. Well done to Rose. Huge up. She's fought for this position for so long, and to see her finally get it, because she's one of my favourite female fighters, it was just really, really cool to actually see her get it. So, I'm so happy for her. I really am. So we're going to move on to what is the co-main event of the 3 main event thing. So, yeah. Next up is defending bantamweight champion Cody Garbrandt against longtime rival TJ Dillashaw. And when you know it, another shock change of belts as TJ Dillashaw won by knockout in round 2, 2 minutes 41 seconds. The Namajunas one was 3 minutes and 3 seconds in round 1 anyway. Yeah, this fight also gets an up. It was weird because at the start, here's the thing, at the start of the Namajunas and Rose fight, neither women really held up gloves to touch, I don't think. I think Rose did, but Joanna did not touch. In the Cody and TJ fight, TJ offered his gloves to touch, Cody did not and just backed away. So, that was interesting. Sorry about that long delay there, my brother had come back home. Well, I say come back home. He came in and wanted to talk to me, so yeah. I was talking about the touching gloves thing, and it was kind of echoed a bit later on afterwards when, after TJ had knocked Cody out and Cody had recovered, there was some yelling going on. Cody was yelling at someone, like saying something about a brother, I don't really know. Yelling to someone outside the ring. It wasn't yelling at TJ, it was yelling at someone. I don't really know who, it's not really shown. But yeah, like when they sort of like were brought together again, TJ did like, you know, he did try to sort of like offer his hand to shake with Cody, but Cody Did not, but he did clap for TJ when it was over. So you know what? This fight does get up. And then we move on to the main event between my favourite fighter and George St Pierre, who I also really like. Pardon me. And so the main event, I forgot to mention that TJ got the performance of the night bonus, also 50,000. And the main event between George St Pierre and Michael Bisping, and George St Pierre won. And technically, because as I was watching this fight, it was one of the fights earlier actually, but as I was watching the event, my dad looked at where Michael Bisping was from, then he read aloud Bisping's MMA record, which, up until my knowledge of this fight was... Hi, hero. Which, up until my knowledge of this fight was... what was it, 31 wins and 7 losses? And my dad said 8 losses, which means I knew that Bisping lost this fight before I'd actually seen it. So, technically my dad spoiled the fight for me without meaning spoiled it for me. So, yeah, that put a bit of an effort on my mood. And I knew how he lost, I didn't know, it was just a case of the when. So Bisping lost by submission in round 3 at 4 minutes 23 seconds. He lost by technical submission though, he didn't tap. It was a surprisingly good fight back and forth, but GSP did have more of the advantages, and he just managed to knock Bisping down. He did get cut open in round 2 though, did GSP, after he took Bisping down. Bisping opened him up with some really good elbows across the bridge of the nose and made him bleed. But yeah, GSP managed to come back in round 3 really big, even though he was doing really well in the fight. And knocked Bisping down, swarmed him with punches, got a rear naked choke, and Bisping didn't tap. More power to him. Aye. And Bisping's reign as middleweight champion is now over. You hate seeing your favourite fighter, someone you've been watching for a long time, lose what he fought really hard to collect. But this fight does get an up, as does the class shown by both men at the end of it. GSP, classy as always. Michael Bisping can be a classy guy when he chooses to be. He's known for being a dick, but he's definitely the kind of dick that you'd want to hang around with, so... Yeah, really good fight, good main event. Sad that Bisping lost, but you know what, GSP made a good comeback after his 4-year hiatus from the MMA game. Good showing. Can't really be mad. The entire event itself was, a huge, big up. So I think, actually I'm going to give 2 bonus ups to the class shown by both Bisping and GSP at the end of it. So I think, in total, that's maybe 10 or 11 ups against 4 downs. Most of it was really bad refereeing choices, but all in all, I could best describe the event as a night of shock of what happened, with the disqualification and all 3 titles on the event changing hands. That was mental. But yeah, I really enjoyed this card. And not the perfect sequel to UFC 205, but it was still an enjoyable one. It's like the Age of Ultron to UFC 205's Avengers, if that makes sense. I mean, it's still good, but it doesn't reach the same zeitgeist, so. And there's my cat's tail just in the way. Anyway, I'll see you all next time for the next video. That should be the next Also Fire episode, unless I get the next Water Concept episode done before then, which I probably won't because I'm lazy. So, yeah, there's really not much else that needs to be said. So, as always, thank you for listening. You're awesome. Bye. 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 Bye.